December 10th, 2016. You're looking at a recreation of what a pulsar, a magnetstar explodes, and you get these large gamma ray bursts. You get a wave of energy. It's not just gamma rays. You've got a lot of other stuff. It's like a coronal mass ejection, but in this case, it would be a galactic mass ejection. And what happens is, if the Earth is in the path of one of these, it can be struck. And in 2004 was one of the first ones that were recorded. We had the instrumentation up. Swift satellite had just been up a month. But back in 2004, scientists had detected a flash of light from across the galaxy so powerful that it bounced off the moon and lit up the Earth's upper atmosphere. The flash was brighter than anything ever detected from beyond our solar system, and it lasted over 1/10 of a second. NASA and European satellites and many radio telescopes detected the flash and its aftermath on December 27, 2004. Two science team reports about this event at a special press event today at NASA headquarters. Notice this was February 18, 2005. They had put all the information together, and then that's when the report came out. I know this is old, but this was the first one that they detected. Now they have more and more instruments up, and they're detecting more and more. And in 16 days, we may have one crossing our planet. Again, notice the pressure built up here, starting back on the 6th. Then on the 14th, it really started kicking in, the 23rd and 8.1, the 9.1, the 26th, and then a 7.2, a 6.6, 6.3, all of those on the hours before this passed. Again, this pressure could be building up now. We're starting to see it. Now, in the red box is events of 2004. Notice the next day, the wave passed. Radiation from an explosion of the magnetar CGR 1806-20 reaches Earth. It's the brightest extrasolar event known to have been witnessed on the planet, because it cost more lives than any single event in our lifetime. Any natural disaster, and it happened fast. Everyone remembers that. That was a stronger quake than the one at Fukushima. Now, what we're dealing with here is information from Mike around the world. And the reason I'm doing this video, he's been telling us on December 26th of this year, one of these waves of energy is coming across our planet. It says the next biggest flare ever seen from any soft gamma repeater was peanuts compared to the incredible December 27th event. Guys, since this article, back then, remember February 2005 when they started publishing this, many much stronger ones have been detected since then, closer. And that's what we're dealing with now. Now, back in October, notice this is the 15th. It started on the 14th, 15th, and 16th. We saw the magnetopause reverse. And at that time, they had not issued any gamma ray burst warning or anything. And so looking at all the possibilities, I dug up information, which was a scientific research paper on the Jupiter wind, because we could have been in the magnetic shadow at that time when we saw this reverse. You're seeing the shields collapse around the Earth to protect it. You see that? That's very abnormal. Now, the sun, excuse me, the sun is to the right. The Earth is in the black dot. The white section of the white circle indicates the sun-facing side. The arrows indicate the solar stream. You're going to see this incoming wave coming in from the back side as we go through this image. It'll be dark blue. The arrows will turn. Look at that. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I did not have the information that Mike said the first weak wave would come in October. And I apologize for that. That information slipped by me. I did not have it until today. So I'm going back and looking at that. He was exactly correct. So if he's correct about on this weak wave, guys, look at this. Look at that energy from the backside pushing against our planet. Notice it stops right above our planet. We still have solar wind coming in from the sun on the right. And we have this galactic pressure from this gamma ray burst coming in on the backside. It's amazing that it stops there. But Mike has said this is the weak one. And he was right. The information came out before October. He told us about this, and I didn't have that particular video. I didn't know about the archives of it until today. And after the show yesterday, I got to looking back at history and what had happened with that first one in 2004. And Mike has talked about that one too. The one that came and caused that Banda Aceh quake was only a glancing blow, guys. It didn't hit us directly like the one that's coming and the pre-wave that you see here. The one that hit us, the 9.1 that caused 230,000 lives, was a glancing blow up to 1,000,000 miles away as far as the center of density of that basically gamma ray burst from a magnetar. That's what we're dealing with. According to Michael, this is going to be rough. It could be more of a direct hit. But guys, was it just last month President Obama orders government to plan for space weather chaos, turning his attention to the heavens and how turbulence could create chaos on Earth. President Obama directed the federal government Thursday to come up with a plan to deal with space weather. He's talking about solar flares that wreak havoc on the electrical power grid, GPS systems, aviation equipment, other technology that could be integral to human life. Gamma rays, guys, can cause skin cancer and can upset your DNA. There can be psychological issues involved. And we got the government setting this up, getting ready for something. Michael was exactly correct in October. Now, the second wave, December 26th. And if you have something massive like this that hits our power grid, guys, you think there's going to be a presidential nominee? Or if you have powerful earthquakes, it could be the one thing that the powers that be use to bring about the New World Order, military in place to handle the devastation. It's over with at that point. But guys, we're going to watch this. We're putting together a show in the next couple of days between me and Mike and Paul Begley, and we're going to go into some of the details that we can about this. But guys, the next section of this video is about 2 or 3 minutes of Michael talking about the very thing. Also, I'm going to link to a video that's longer than that where he goes through the entire thing. And it's very interesting to hear about things that happen. And in 2005, after this happened, the hole in the atmosphere was ripped through there. They started coming up with a global warming thing. And it's almost been a code word for this event coming now. Getting prepared for that. But listen to Michael's section on this, guys. It's a heads up. Be safe.
That mankind cannot comprehend. 2004, everything started. Why did it start in 2004? Because that was the impact of a magnetar. That's when the top of our atmosphere was ripped off by a wave sent by a magnetar. That's why. A piece of our atmosphere was ripped off and you didn't even know it in 2004. Nobody talked about that, did they? Anybody discuss that? No, they didn't. Oh, they had all the instrumentation in the world monitoring it. They were scared to death. They didn't know what would happen. They didn't know. But I'm telling you, they were deathly afraid because they saw it coming. They can see a lot of things coming. They're not going to tell you. For what good would that do? You would only get in the way. I'm telling you that in 2004, everything changed. And that's why in 2005, the United Nations had the Climate Change Conference. What have you noticed? A change in weather phenomena. A change in earthquake activity. A change with the other objects in space. That's why we send probes all over the place. For proof of something, yes, but to also monitor. We've got satellites and craft orbiting just about everything we can because they serve as an early warning system of what will happen to Earth. See, if something is just indigenous to Earth, maybe mankind can change it. But what we're having is not indigenous to Earth. It is not just for Earth. The entire solar system is beginning to do a wicked shimmy. And solar activity is a telltale sign of the exotic energy that's coming into the solar system. The sun acts as a shield to the entire solar system. The sun does. Just as your skin acts as a shield to protect your insides and to keep things away from the precious internal portions of your body, right? So does the sun create a barrier to keep highly charged particles at bay. And every so often, it's pierced. The skin, we could say, that envelops our solar system is weakening, and things are coming through. There's nothing mankind can do about it. And it's coming. That was December 27th. Earth was impacted by that blast. 2004, December 27th. And wouldn't you know it, we have another one coming in December. How strange. Why? Because there's a phenomenon in space called pulses, right? Pulses happen at intervals. Normally when something blows, like a magnetar or something like that, it sends out multiple shock waves. It's like triple, quadruple explosions, right? Well, they're headed towards Earth from more than one source. There's nothing anybody can do about it, which is why everybody's watching for the shock wave in October.